Hello, hello guys. So for anyone who's watching this after the fact, I just like to say this up front. This is not going to be a full tutorial, but if you're interested in learning how to make what I'm about to make, I've put a link in the description to the full step-by-step tutorial. We've even got printable supply lists, templates, and all kinds of things that you can use to help you make these ornaments. I've also got a printed pattern book, and I've linked that down below as well. With all that said, thanks for watching, and I hope that seeing me make one of these ornaments inspires you. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Kathy. Kathy said, hello, everyone. First time in the chat. Awesome. Welcome, Kathy. Hey, Gretchen. Gretchen, you're here right from the get-go this time, so awesome. Hi, Phil. Happy Monday to you as well. Hi, Marilyn. Marilyn says hi from Charleston, South Carolina. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Thanksgiving holiday week. I hope you all had a good weekend. As promised on Friday afternoon, I'm doing a 4-layer fabric basic star today. Hi, Louise. Louise says, hi everyone from outside Boston. We have another Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Kathy says, hello from far, far west Texas. Clint. I'm using some old fabrics, guys, from my stash. This red dotted fabric and the green with the candy canes is like, I think it probably came from Joanne a long time ago. And then this red striped is a Riley Blake print, but I actually, where did that one come from? This one I think I got way back in, like, I want to say it's a little newer than these, but 2015, 2016 time frame, I think. The other Kathy said, hi Kathy, I live in Arizona. Beautiful weather today. It's beautiful here today, guys, too, here in Central Florida. It's starting to get a little warm again during the day, but it is still really pretty. We're at about 80 degrees here today. Hi, Mabel. Mabel said, muy buena tarde. I actually don't know what that means, I don't think. Very pretty, maybe. I don't know what tarde means. Sorry. Patricia said, hello from Lambertville, New Jersey. Hi, Patricia. Gretchen said, Michael's had buy one, get one free. Oh, wait. Buy one, get 3 free ribbon today. Okay, I might have to go to Michael's. That's a good deal. Hi, Shirley. Gretchen said, yes, 3. Yeah, I read that wrong first. That is a good deal. Creative Minds said, hello, first time catching you live. I love watching you do this. Awesome, I'm so glad you're here. And thank you. I'm glad you caught it live today. Gretchen said, I only know because I'm in Virginia visiting my daughter and had to go look for a ribbon because I forgot mine to make 10 sunny snowmen. You're going to be pretty busy. So you're going to make those while you're there visiting? They might want to keep them once they see them. Once again, guys, I've got to turn the sound off on my phone. I do it every single time. Gretchen said, yes, I'm gone for 10 days from New York and they're actually all getting them for gifts. That's an awesome gift. I didn't even need the tutorial today. After making that many, yeah, I can imagine you'll have it down pat. That's a fun pattern. Are all 10 of them going to be like different colors, or are they all the same? Gretchen said, but it is so relaxing to make them. I'm doing all the same, almost the same as your color scheme. That's awesome. It is relaxing to sit and make these, especially once you have the pattern down pat and you're not having to really like pay so much attention. It's nice to just sit back and just pin. Louise said, my sister gave me both of those red dot and stripe fragments that are from Joanne. The green she had was a tiny holly. Thanks for doing this so I can see how to use this material. Oh, that's awesome. You're very welcome. And that's an awesome coincidence. I've had these for so long. I mean, for forever. It's got to be at least 15 years or more. They've just been sitting there on my shelf, and I had, I think, a couple yards of each one to start, so I've continuously used them throughout, over the years for different things, but these couple, especially I would say the green and the red, are go-tos because of these tiny prints. I love tiny prints like this for these ornaments. And I'm going for kind of a scrappy vibe today. Although I am kind of purposely, like, I don't know, trying to be strategic with these stripes. The first 4 that I put on, I tried to fold the fabric over so that a pink stripe would show right under the fold. But then for these last 4 pieces, I'm trying to make it so that a red stripe will show. I don't think that that's totally necessary. It would look cute even if you just folded it anywhere, but I thought it would just be kind of fun to do that. Especially since all these fabrics are kind of busy, so that'll give it a little bit of organization. Marilyn said, is the 2025 charm available in your shop? No, it sure isn't. We didn't do 2025 this year. I don't even think we did 2024. We haven't had the year charms in a while. But I think you could probably find those on Amazon. Or just a Google search, I think will probably turn something up. I'm sure Etsy too. So Gretchen's in Virginia for Thanksgiving. What about the rest of you guys? Do you have any plans for Thanksgiving? So going back to the red, I'm using red as like my accent color. So I'm using it in the center and here as the third layer. The color that's going to be the most prominent is going to be the stripes when we're all done. I'm leaving the most showing of that layer, but then I'm going to end it all with the green to kind of, I don't know, I just kind of like the look of encompassing all the inner layers with one contrasting color. So I'm trying that. I've never made this combination before with these fabrics, so we'll see how it comes out. I think it'll be cute though. Phil said, eat dinner and watch Miracle on 34th Street. That is a great idea. Love that. Kathy said, staying in Arizona this year, going to a neighbor's house for dinner. Well, that's nice. Creative Minds said, small Thanksgiving dinner, online shopping, and sewing the rest of the weekend. Oh, that sounds nice. Hi, Catherine. Catherine says, hello from the Great White North. Your fabrics always look so crisp. Is it the weight of the fabric or a little shot of starch? I don't do any starching. These particular fabrics are a little bit crisp. That's a good word for it. And honestly, I think it's just that, well, these are probably not the most like premium of fabrics. They were just from like Joanne, so that can make them a little bit more stiff feeling. It also makes them a little harder to pin through, but that's okay. But yeah, I iron very little. As you can see here, I got some wrinkles in some of these pieces, and I've never starched fabric before for these ornaments, so I'm not sure what else. Once I'm putting them on, I do try to fold down and give a little tug, not much because I don't want to pull them off the pin or anything, but I do try to tug it pretty tautly so that it all lays really nice and flat and it looks nice and sharp. Marilyn said, I ordered the foam balls, just waiting on arrival to get busy. Fabrics are all selected. Awesome, Marilyn. I hope you love, or did you order these foam balls? Is that what you mean? If so, I hope you love them. We like them a lot here. We think they're the best for these ornaments. Okay, awesome. I hope you love them too. They're just the right density. You said you already have your fabrics selected. What kinds of fabrics are you using? Like what colors? Marilyn said traditional red, green, and white or beige. Perfect. Can't go wrong with traditional Christmas colors. Hi, Sally. Sally says, hi, everyone. Late as usual, but I will watch from the beginning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, too. And better late than never. Glad you made it. Rebecca says, hi, Rebecca. You make it look so easy. I tried my first one this weekend and the center was not perfect, but I think it looks okay for my first one. That's awesome, Rebecca. I'm glad you made one. It gets so much easier. Even your second one will be so much easier than the first one. And it does get more simple to get the star in the center more even. But of course that, it takes a couple times to get that right. And you'll start to get a feel for it and it just becomes second nature. I'm glad you gave it a go though, and I'm sure it looks awesome. Hi, Nancy. Nancy says, hello, glad to be here again. I'm a little late. That's okay, Nancy. Better late than never. So with a 4-layer one, you could, I'm going to make this actually a little closer up. You could just use 2 colors so like I could have possibly went back to the red and white stripe here for the 4th layer. You could even use all layers different. It could be 4 different fabrics. You can really do whatever you want. I think I mentioned this before to you guys, but I have seen people do scrappy versions where, excuse me, all the pieces were different. So it sounds like it'd be crazy, but they're super cute. The ones I've seen are super cute. So if you have like a pile of scraps, but you don't have a couple of each of them, you could literally make one of these with just all different colors. One thing I think would be cute to try is a scrappy version where all the pieces are different, but they're all like each layer is related. So if you had like a few different reds, put all the reds in the center. And if you had a few different like greens or, you know, any other color, beige, whatever, put them all as the next layer. And so the layers are all different, all the fabrics are different, but you still have the color ways going out from the center. I think that'd be really neat. And I feel like as our scrap stash is growing in the shop, and both in the shop and in my office, that would be a fun thing to try, because we got a lot of scraps around here, you guys. Chartreuse. Oh, that's Teresa, right? I'm trying to remember because it's throwing me off not being able to see you guys' names. Good afternoon. Oh, yep, you said Teresa here. Thank you. Thanks for the reminder. Glad you made it, Teresa. Kathy said, where do you buy the little chains for the bells and what size? Are you talking about... I have them right here. I have a little bowl of them. Are you talking about these guys? The little charm chains? So this is a custom product that we had made for these ornaments. So you can buy those at my shop, but you don't have to. The other thing you could do is just buy jump rings and attach them together, just like if you were making a piece of jewelry. You could attach like 5 or 6 jump rings together. I think the size that I used to use, I tend to just use these now because they're just so simple. They have the little clasp right on the end, so it's really easy to just attach your charm and hook this thing right on. But I want to say that I would use anywhere between 5 and 7 millimeter jump rings when I did it that way. And you just use pliers and attach them together. The other thing you can do is you can buy chain from the jewelry section of like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and then just cut apart the chain into the pieces that you want. And then you'll just open up one of the rings to attach your charm or your bell or whatever. So you have a couple of different options. You know, another option that I never really show because I don't do it very often, but you could always just like take a little piece of string or something too and tie it on. You could loop it right through your bell or your charm and just tie it right up underneath. Hey, Suzanne. Teresa said, I made 5 ornaments this weekend. That's awesome. Which pattern did you do? Did you do all different patterns or did you do all the same? Kathy said yes. Oh, okay. You're saying yes to that chain. Thank you. I couldn't find them in your store. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can find them for you and pop a link in there. Here we go. I found a link to, we have 3 colors. We have silver, gold, and bronze. So here is, I'm going to put this right in the chat for you guys. Nancy said, I found that necklace extender chains work well. That's such a good idea. Good idea. We got those chains made, I can't remember what year, it was a few years ago, but in the beginning couple of years of the Ornament Girls Club, for the kits that we were making, if we ever wanted to attach charms and bells and things, we would send out jump rings, you know, 4 or 5 jump rings per kit, And that worked fine. But then people started kind of being like, well, I don't really want to have pliers and stuff like that in order to attach things for these kids. So that's where we kind of decided, we had the idea to do the little custom charm chain so that it was just much, much easier just to attach them that way. And we could put those in the kits and it wouldn't require any extra tools or anything to make them. I have a little gnat flying around, you guys. I wonder if you can see it in the camera. Patricia said, repurpose old costume jewelry no longer used. That is a good idea. And you know, the other thing about costume jewelry is there's just so many cool things that you can, I mean, you can use all sorts of parts of those old pieces of jewelry. Look at this gnat. Teresa said different ones, 3 angels and 2 of the Christmas ones. Do your fingers hurt today? One of our designers, Tanya, well, I think all of them have done it, but Tanya loves using like earrings and things like that as embellishments for her ornaments. She's big on that. Or like taking apart cheap charm bracelets and using the charms on her ornaments. She's so big on doing that. Kathy said, which section are they in? You mean like the extender chains and stuff that someone had mentioned? If that's what you mean by that question, they're usually like in the beading and jewelry section of craft stores. Catherine said, so happy to see more people are jumping on. My dilemma is either watch you or do some house cleaning. Geez, that's a hard choice. I'm sorry to make you have that hard choice. I hope that you'll choose watching this or making an ornament along with me. I guess if you're watching on your phone, you could carry me around with you while you're doing the house cleaning, but house cleaning isn't very fun. Teresa said, yeah, the sign of an ornament girl is calluses on the thumb. Suzanne said, OG store under embellishments page 4. Well, on mine. Suzanne, I was just telling everybody in the shop this morning about how you jumped in at the end of Friday's live stream and you were the hero of the day because you remembered that we were selling those single hold rhinestones. Like once I looked at the listing, when you pointed it out and I went and found it, I was like, well, that's my hand in the picture. I took the picture, so I should have known that they were in the shop. I'm glad you knew what was going on, though. Kathy said, I will look for jump rings on Amazon. Yeah, you can get, I mean, I think you can get a large amount of jump rings for not very expensive. And also, make sure you get ones that are bendable, because if you get the ones that are super tough, and I'm sorry guys, because I wouldn't be able to tell you what the there's like a measurement system numbering or whatever for wire, so hopefully if one of you guys know what I'm talking about, you can jump in. But you want to get the ones that are bendable a little bit, otherwise they're really, really difficult to open and close, and you just want ones that are not that hard. If you're just using it to dangle a charm or a bell or something, it doesn't have to be anything super, super strong. Nancy said, I've used earrings before. It's a great way to ensure that you have 2 of what you want. That's true. And you can sometimes like poke, if it's like a post earring, you can poke it right into the center of your ornament as a centerpiece. You can't push them through fabric usually, but if you can push it into the middle between the fabric, it works. Kathy said, thank you, Suzanne. Suzanne said, I love your store. I should know what you sell. Well, I appreciate that. I should know what I sell too, though. I can be a little ditzy sometimes. But also, there's a lot of products there, and it kind of sometimes starts to run together, I will admit. Or I'll forget, like, what we've listed. Initially, this store started out as a way to sell, like, when we did our kits. And when I started the club in 2015, we would do the kits, and sometimes there'd be leftover pieces and parts from making the kits. Because a lot of times I'd order extra just to make sure we had enough, you know, to make up for any broken pieces or messed up pieces or anything like that. So I would always have extras. And then people would ask for those things too. They'd be like, I really love that particular thing that you had in that particular kit. So I would just start kind of selling off the extras. But it's evolved from there for sure. This is very Christmassy. I'm excited about how these all look together. I don't think I've made one in this combination before. I know I've used these fabrics before for other ornaments, but I don't think I've ever done this order or combination. So I think it looks really cute. And since we're talking about bells, I think I might add some bells to this too. Does anybody have their Christmas decorations out yet? I got some stuff out yesterday, and I got my trees down. I have two that I'm gonna put up. One of them I did put up. The other one is halfway put up. No ornaments on there yet, but I'm hoping over the next couple of nights I can get them decorated. Shirley said we got ours out today. Kathy said, I found them and added to my cart. We'll be purchasing later today. Big order for sure. Awesome, Kathy. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions about any of it. So I want to keep the same pattern I had. I showed more of the pinkish color on the first 4 pieces. So I'm going to do the same thing here for these first 4. I'll save that for a red stripe because I don't want to have to fold down too much. Teresa said, I love your fabrics. Thank you. Old school Joanne fabrics. Rebecca said, do you always use the last color that you pin as the color you use for the band to finish it? Not always. A lot of the times, yes. And I will here because I purposely wanted to kind of I kept the first three, all the red colors, and then I wanted to sort of encompass it with a contrasting color. So I will definitely use green as my band here. But there's times that we don't do that. Sometimes we'll use a whole different color as the band. It just kind of depends on what fabrics or ribbons it is that I'm using. Nancy said, now that our kids are all grown up and gone, not too far away, we are a little slower putting the Christmas decorations up. It's a lot of work getting all the Christmas decorations up. Last year, I wasn't really feeling it as much. And my daughter was so upset with me because I waited a little too long. This year, I'm much more in the Christmas spirit. And I honestly think it's because I've been doing these lives for the last couple of weeks and making so many Christmas ornaments that it's literally put me in the Christmas spirit. Pat said, beautiful work. Thank you. Sora said, bonsoir from France. Did I say that word correctly? And I think I'm hoping I said Zora correctly. Also, welcome, Zora. Kathy said, I sure miss Joann's. Not have to order online. Yeah, it is, and it's hard to order online. Not being able to see and feel the fabric. I agree with you 100%. It is a whole different thing. There's also just something so nostalgic about Joann. Like, for me, I remember my mom always going there for her crafting and stuff, and standing in line at the cutting table, all that kind of stuff. So it's very sad that it's gone. Teresa said, so I did one of the Snow Globe Christmas Club ornaments, and it's been a while since I've done a snow globe, and I had to restart it 3 times. So yes, my fingers were so sore. I'm sorry, Teresa. Did you eventually get it the way you wanted it? It is, the snow globes can be a thing when you're not used to doing them. No doubt. And sometimes even when you are used to doing them, you can just hit the right fabric that makes it a little bit of a challenge. I was doing that cardinal with you guys, I think, Thursday? And I did great on the first side, and then the second side I was struggling with. Creative Minds said, my first job was at Sew Fro Fabrics back in the day. If you know, you know. Sew Fro. I don't know that one. Shirley said that Joann's was the only craft store that we had in our area. We had, you know what, way back when I was really young, we would go to Joann's, but also Ben Franklin. I remember that one pretty vividly. My mom went there a lot. And I don't think they exist anymore either, right? I haven't seen one since I was a kid, so I don't think that they do. Kathy said, I was so excited to get the 2 written patterned books. Awesome, Kathy. We have 3 now. Did you know that? We've got, so the first 2 that we released was the Basic Star, and then we released the Peekaboo Pumpkin. But now we've got all 3. We added the Prairie Point Pinwheel to that. I'm glad you liked them, though. Um, Teresa said, yes, and it was beautiful. My 2 cardinals were just a little offset. Awesome. You'll have to post that in the Facebook group, Teresa, if you haven't already. Creative Mind said some parts of the country it was called House of Fabrics. Oh, okay. I feel like that does sound familiar. But I don't remember ever having that store around me at any time. Hi, Carol. Carol said, I'm new here. What is the Christmas Club ornaments? So we have 2 clubs that are a monthly subscription, and one of them is our Christmas Club, so it's Christmas all year, and each month you get a kit to make a Christmas club or a Christmas ornament like this. We're not currently open, but we do have an email list that you can sign up to be notified when we do open. I believe our next Christmas Club opening is in the beginning of 2026. I don't remember if it's January or February. But on the live stream I did, I believe it was Thursday, I used one of the Christmas Club kits to make an ornament. And it kind of showed what comes in the kit and everything. So if you want to check that out, you're certainly welcome to. And it would be back a couple of live streams from this one. I think like two or three. I think I did it Wednesday or Thursday. Oops, chat's going. Teresa said we also had Cloth World. I have not heard of that one. Creative Mind said Ben Franklin had the best stuff. We have them in Missouri. You have them now? That would be awesome. I don't know if you meant we had them or we have them like currently. Kathy said the cardinal was my very first ornament that I tried. And how did you like it, Kathy? Nancy said I remember Sofro fabrics. Kathy said I'm gonna have to that one too. I think maybe you meant I'm gonna have to try that one too. I'm not sure. Louise said need many more than what I ordered from you. So okay. So you got the Amazon 600 pieces of silver open jump rings. What size did you get? 600 will last you a good long time, so that's great. Teresa said I always forget to do that. Post on Facebook, you mean? If you post on there, tag me so I can make sure I see it and don't miss it. Kathy said the Christmas Club is awesome. Thanks, Kathy. Hi, Robin. Robin said hello, everyone. April said, hi, April. April said it, and in Denver, we used to have Hancock fabric, but not for a long time. I have never been to a Hancock in person, a Hancock fabric, but I believe they still have an online site, correct? Kathy said, I forgot about Cloth World. Kathy said, I loved the cardinal ornament. I feel like cardinals are always a really popular one. You just can't go wrong with cardinals. Kathy said, I'm going to have to get the 3rd pattern book. Thanks, Kathy. I'm so glad you liked the first 2. Hopefully we'll have a couple more in the works soon. It took a good long time for us to get those 3 done. But now we've kind of got the process down and the publishing and all that stuff and the design. So I think that our future ones will be able to come out a little bit quicker. Creative Mind said, yes, I live in Iowa, but I saw a YouTuber recently show her quilt shop stops, and she stopped at 2 in Missouri. I was so excited. I need to go. That's amazing. I did not know. I wonder then, because the one that I used to go to had closed. So it's making me think maybe they didn't all close, just some of them did, and maybe they're just smaller now or something, or more in a like a specific area. Teresa said, I will tag you. Awesome. Thank you, Teresa. I'll go looking for it. 6mm, Louise said. So yeah, that's a good size. It's a good like medium size. So, and in fact, I think that probably these charm chains that I showed you, these are probably in that neighborhood. Maybe these are like 5. So I think that's a good size. I found with making the charm chains with the jump rings that it helped for them to be a little bit bigger, you know, in that 5 or 6mm range. It just makes them a little bit easier to work with. I remember Hancock fabric. Oh, different. Okay, that's a different Hancock. Okay. I'm not sure about online for a Hancock. So yeah, it must be a different one then. Teresa said, my daughter Molly said that the cardinal one was her favorite. We have some fabric right now. It's in my garage. I've had it for a couple years and we've been waiting for the perfect thing to do with it. And we haven't, I've shown it on a rapid wrap before. I believe I even have, it's in a YouTube tutorial here for a rapid wrap ornament, but it's got cardinals and some other like Christmassy birds. And we are looking to do a series of kits with those because the cardinals and just the birds and stuff in general are just beautiful. And actually when I found that fabric, I bought way too much of it because I loved it so much. And that's why it's sitting in my garage looking for the perfect use. So be on the lookout for that for you guys who love the cardinals and the birds. Hopefully sometime coming up soon, we'll be able to make our idea come to life that we have for that cardinal fabric. That's right. Creative Mind said the Hancock online is called Hancock of Paducah. Is that how you say that? Paducah or Paducah? I don't know, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen that. And you're right, that is different. Debbie said, hello everyone and happy Thanksgiving, coming on late. Better late than never, and happy Thanksgiving to you too. April said, happy Thanksgiving to you, Debbie, and everyone. Teresa said, can't wait. I'm going to do a little trim before I go to my next 4 pieces. I'm yapping so much, guys, that I'm surprised that I didn't like put the wrong fabrics on in the wrong order or something. I wasn't even really paying attention to what I was doing. I started getting to thinking that maybe peaceful pinning wasn't the best name for this idea because I guess I didn't think I'd be talking so much when I started this. Maybe it should be called like pinning and yapping. Something like that. Yap and pin. Nancy said, happy Thanksgiving. Can you believe it's already Thanksgiving, you guys? It's amazing. This year has gone by so fast. Kathy said, I feel like if you were successful with the cardinal ornament, that you can be successful with any of them. Thanks, Kathy. April said, pinning and making friends, LOL. Yes, exactly. Pinning party, Creative Mindset. That's cute. Teresa said, I love all the camaraderie and the back and forth with everyone. So do I. I guess I wasn't really expecting for everybody to be chatting with me this much, and I just absolutely love it. It's way better than I was thinking. When I first started doing this, I really wasn't sure exactly what to expect, but I'm having so much fun doing it. Catherine said, ha 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 ha, I like yapping pin. Rebecca said, I love the name. I find it very relaxing to watch you. Thanks, Rebecca. I'm happy to hear that. That was the ultimate goal, so I'm very, very glad to hear that. Kathy said, I thought when I saw peaceful pinning that someone had hijacked your site. I was so confused, hence the reason I asked on one of the lives. I remember that. Yep, I remember when you asked. You were like, is this, I think you said, is this Stacy or is this the ornament girl? Yep. Nope, it was me. It was just so different, right? I wasn't really sure where it was going to go, like I said, but I knew that I didn't want it to be like a full step-by-step tutorial, like step 1 do this, step 2 do this, because we have those, on the channel. But I also wanted to show lots of different ways to make the different patterns, not necessarily just the one way that we show in the original tutorial. But, everything evolves, and I feel like this has been a whole lot of fun. I really like the direction that this has evolved into. I just realized I'm getting low on pins here in my pin bowl. Creative Minds said, I was all done with my Christmas quilting and sewing until my daughter received her package that I sent her. Now many of her friends are placing orders for quilted totes. My calendar quickly filled. I bet. That's awesome though. Congratulations. Orders right before Christmas. That's good. Maybe a little stressful, but good, right? Teresa said, I missed the very beginning, so I have a question. What direction do you cut a striped fabric to get the look that you just got with your stripe? So I make sure that the stripes are running lengthwise through the rectangles. So they're going up along the long side. And then that way, when you fold it, they're running out from the center like this. Now, that's a rule that can be broken sometimes. It just depends on the fabric, but I most of the time prefer for stripes to run out from the center of the star. I just feel like it looks really nice that way, as opposed to if they were this direction. Now, sometimes you can make it look really cute, especially like here, if you purposely line things up so that they're with each other, then it won't look too busy. But sometimes it can get a little busy, like if things don't line up really well. This one is just gonna try to line up perfectly no matter how I fold it. It can start to look a little bit busy, especially when you've got them going all the way around and you've got 8 pieces like this. So generally, again, generally, because rules can be broken, I like to have them going this direction. Hopefully that answers your question. M. Quilter said, I have really enjoying these quiet pinning videos. And yes, I got an old kit out and I pinned along with you. Sunday is my fun day and do something different and fun. I'm so happy to hear that. Which kit did you get out? That's great. I know a lot of times people build up their kits and they kind of sit there and start to build up and build up. So I'm happy that you were inspired to get one out and get to pinning with me. Creative Mind said, thank you, but I wasn't intentionally trying to sell them. Oh, I didn't think that at all. I did not even think that whatsoever, Creative Minds. Teresa said, thank you. Yes, it did. Oh, good. You know, word of mouth is like one of the best ways. So if you sent your daughter a tote and all of her friends want one, I mean, that is a compliment. And I don't know, I think that's one of the best ways to sell things. Creative Mind said, I really need to try your ornaments. Super cute. Yes, please do give it a try. And then let us know how it goes. For this pattern, this is the basic star pattern. This is a really good one to start with. And I did put a link right below in the description to the step-by-step tutorial, which is right here on YouTube. M. The Quilter said it was the November 2017 Peppermint Twist. I love that one. And how did yours come out? I do kind of gravitate towards peppermint and candy themes. I was almost kind of going for that a little bit here with this stripes. It's not quite super candy themed, but there's a little bit of a peppermint vibe going on with these stripes. And I don't know what it is about the candy stripes and peppermint themes and stuff, but I do really, really like them. There's just something super festive, I feel like, about the ornaments that come out like that. M. Quilter said, super nice, love the bead embellishment. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, we just got one more piece to go. Catherine said, such a great idea to pin along with you. It's like booking that hour or so to get things done each day with you. Clearly no housework being done today. I'm sorry, Catherine. Sorry, not sorry. And if you're pinning along with me, that's still productive, right? M is for embroidery and quilting. Gotcha. I'm trying to say it. I was trying to read it clearly so that the B, the M came out, but I don't know if it was when I'm saying it. So sorry about that if I'm not saying it very clearly. Trying to. Creative Mind said, do you have a regular schedule that you go live? I like Catherine's idea to pin along. Not yet, unfortunately. And I've had a few of you guys ask that, and I would like to try to get into a more regular schedule, because I know that would make things easier for you guys that would like to catch them, you know, regularly. But so far, I'm still trying to get into a rhythm of doing this, and every day looks a little bit different. And I'm also, I kind of realized too, like last week, that if I'm trying to follow an exact schedule, it's making it a little bit more stressful to get these, you know, to get on here every day. I just haven't found my rhythm yet, I think, is the main problem. But I'm trying to go Monday through Friday. That's really the only regular thing that I have so far. And even that is iffy, because like there's been a couple days I've had to miss. But if I can fall into a better and more regular schedule, I will definitely let you guys know. For now, I know it's probably going to be sometime between like 11 and 4. That's not a very good help. That's like when the cable company is coming out to check your internet connection and they give you like an 8-hour window and you're like, well, okay, what is that going to do? So I'm sorry that I don't have anything better than that right now. I love how the band just brings it all together, covers up all those raw edges. M Quilter, embroidery quilter, said, yes, you did fine. Thank you. You two made me create a new name one day a month or so ago. Why'd they do that? Robin said, the tree is up but not finished decorating yet. Takes a little bit because the whole house gets decorated. We love Christmas. I am with you, Robin, and I totally understand. It takes some time to get it all out. It's so much work. Putting up Christmas decorations is a whole thing. Emma Quilter said, pretty much every year I make at least 1 or 2 of your ornaments to give away to someone that I have not given one to yet. That's an awesome idea. As well as people that I know I have given some to add to their collection. I love that. I bet your recipients love that too. Creative Minds said, no worries. Thanks, Creative Minds. Okie dokie. I think I'm going to pick out a couple of ribbons to put on the top here. I have a couple of ribbons here that I think will look good, but I wasn't entirely sure what this was going to look like. I think I'm going to focus on the red and green, though. I don't think I'm going to add white in here. Let's see. Although, maybe a little white with this one. I think that would be a good addition. Kind of add to the candy vibe just a touch. And I've got some red. I think I'm going to do a mixture of these 3. They seem like a good match for the colors. Green's not exact, but I actually like it. I think it's not exact, but it does coordinate really well, so I think that's good. So I'll do a 2-layer gift bow style so I can mix all 3 of these together. Kathy said, M Quilter, I am an embroidery quilter as well. So we'll do 3 7-inch pieces. And then for one slightly shorter bow, or smaller bow I should say, we'll do a little bit shorter pieces. I'm going to do 6.5 for those. Catherine said, have you ever tried using paper? I don't think I have. I did see somebody using candy wrappers once. It was a long time ago. I can't remember. I think I might have seen that like on eBay back in the day. When I was selling my ornaments on eBay, I think another person who was making and selling these ornaments did them in candy wrappers, and I thought that was really, really cute. They were paper candy wrappers. But no, I don't think I ever have. Yeah, I hope I'm telling the truth here. I'm racking my brain, and I don't think I have ever used paper before. I think you could if you were very careful. I mean, obviously you could, because I saw that girl that did the candy wrappers, and those were paper. I just think you'd have to be real gentle, and when you go to create your folds, not pull too hard, because you could pull it right off the pin and rip it. Oh, there's the dogs howling. They have to howl at least one time on every live stream, or it's not complete. Let's do green in the center. Karen said, I have used paper. It was pages from an old hymnal that was falling apart. It ended up beautiful. That's so cool. That is so cool. I would love to see that. M Quilter is asking Kathy, do you watch Power Tools with Thread on YouTube? Oh, you know what? Before I put this on here, I want to add some bells, since we were talking about bells. I think I might even add 2 bells. That'll be cute. So I'm actually looping through my third to last jump ring here on this chain, and then I'm going to go back through the very end one, just so that it hangs at the length that I want it to hang on. I don't want it to go too low. I feel like I might even do 3 bows on this one. Catherine said, there are so many beautiful papers in the stores these days, many different thicknesses and designs to choose from. Yeah, like the scrapbooking paper. That is very true. Very good idea. Karen said, I can email the ornament to you. I would love to see that. That would be amazing. Kathy said, M Quilter, I do. I have spoken to Becky a few times at the Houston Quilt Festival. Power Tools with Thread. So that's an embroidery channel. Teresa said, oh my gosh, that is so, so cute. Thank you, Teresa. Marilyn said, it is so hard to find nice fabrics. Do you have any suggestions? You know, it is hard, especially online, like we've talked about a couple of times here on the channel. I think I'm going to put the red one on top. It's hard to know when you can't feel, you know, it in person. And the only in-person place that I can really recommend now is just like if you have a local quilt shop or Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby's okay, and I like some of their stuff, but I just feel like their Christmas stuff is so repetitive and they don't really have a huge selection, at least not my Hobby Lobby. With that being said, and not just trying to do a shameless plug here, but we have fabrics on our website too, theornamentgirl.com. We've got a shop, and do I have a link below to that? If you follow one of the links below, it'll take you to the shop, and then you can do a search for fabric. But we try to do bundles of coordinates that are specifically for ornaments. So we have some yardage, but a lot of it is in like quarter yard and half yard bundles that are specifically coordinated to make ornaments from. So if you're talking about fabric that's specifically for this craft, I definitely recommend my own site for that. And I think that helps too with the fact that it's hard to pick fabrics online. You could see the coordinates together and you'll know that they look nice on the ornaments. In fact, we even show usually a lot of examples of ornaments made with those bundles. I just bent my pin, guys. This is going to be one of those fun ones to get a top bow on. These fabrics are thick and these ribbons are thick, so. And let me show you an example of our bundles. Like, this is how we bundle them up. So you get like 3 that are coordinate together, like these here on our website. And then in the listing where we have these, you can see examples of ornaments made with them. Other than that, I think Missouri Quilt Star is one that I see people recommending a lot. And if anybody else has any ideas, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have bought fabric online from lots of places, please feel free to post them in the comments. All right, guys, let's give this a second shot here. I'm going to try to stabilize the pin as I push it down in. I was going to do 3 bows, but I think I just changed my mind with how difficult that was to push in there. I still have to add a hanger too. So there's that. And I wish that you guys could see what this looks like straight on without the bells falling around. When I hold it up to you guys, everything flops back, but I think that came out really cute. And I like these ribbons on top too. Let me get a piece of string to do the hanger. Teresa said, I love your bundles. I think I just read that one. Sorry for reading it twice, but thank you, Teresa. Louise said the same. I love the bundles too. Catherine said, and the string they are tied with, you can use as the loop. Yes, exactly. You can use the string as the hanger. And it's a couple strings usually on each one. So you've got a decent amount of hangers there. And they match the fabric. Robin said, yappin' pin, LOL, that's cute. Too much fun. That ornament is coming along nicely. Robin went back to the beginning and was watching, so she's at that part of the conversation. Creative Mind said, Fat Quarter Shop. Oh, yeah, that is a good one. Fat Quarter Shop is good, but it's mostly quilt quality fabric, so the price might seem higher. Yeah, they carry quilt shop fabrics. And actually, so do we. Most of our I shouldn't say most, all of our fabrics are coming from the quilt shop, like premium manufacturers as well. So, M Quilter said, yes, embroidery and quilting. She is very knowledgeable with computers and software, teaches people how to use the different softwares to make their quilting jobs easier by creating embroidery quilt pattern. That's awesome. Zora said, Trey Bell. Thank you. M Quilter said, your ornament looks amazing. Thank you so much. Louise said, love it. Kathy said, we should buy the bundles from you. We need you to keep teaching us. Thanks, Kathy. I'm still going to be here teaching because I'm really enjoying this. But if you buy the bundles from my shop or anything else, it's like the cherry on top, and I definitely appreciate it. I am going to use white string, I think, on the top, because the only other string I have up here is silver and gold. Silver would go too, I think, but I like the idea of white since we have white in the fabrics, and it kind of has that more candy, playful, festive vibe, I think. Another thing you guys could use too is just another piece of ribbon and make a loop and pin it on there too. So if you don't want to use string, or if you don't have a string, and depending on what fabrics you're using, jute twine is a really good option as well. I made that way too long. Cut off those ends. I didn't even think about what I want to do for the topper. I think I'll just do a beaded pin. We've got some crystals. I think I like the idea of doing green since my top ribbon is red. We'll do a little contrast. Marilyn said, very festive. I agree. It is very festive. It looks happy. Creative Mind said, I have found some very nice fabric at Walmart in years past. Yeah, they do. Sometimes they have some really, really, really cute fabric. My Walmart near me has really pared down their craft section, which is disappointing. They don't have as much as they used to. But I have had good luck there before in the past, for sure. Nancy said, will you have a bundle with the cardinal fabric in it? Yeah, so that bundle that I just showed you, we already had that bundle, and it sold out really quick, but we are going to try to put together some more because we do still have some more of those fabrics down there. So, and that was this one. This cardinal fabric is Moda Forest Frost, and it's from years ago. I bought a lot of it, and so I don't want to say we have a whole bunch because we don't anymore, but we do still have some of it. So we paired it with, what is this one? Now I can't remember which one this one was. I want to say maybe Hoffman or something. And then this is the Cloud 9 Glimmer Solids, and they look really good together. So we're going to have more of this one hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Jordan Fabrics in Grant Pass, Oregon, Debbie said. Okay, so that's one to check out. And then Debbie said also Fabric Cafe in Tyler, Texas. And these are online places, Debbie. Marilyn said, do you have Christmas fabrics? Yes, those are the ones that tend to sell out the fastest, but I think we have this one right now. Not the cardinal yet. We're going to have that one hopefully in the next couple of weeks, but this one we have currently right now. Let me look in the shop really quick. And we have some also by the yard. We don't have as much by the yard. Okay, so yeah, we do have that Hearthside Holiday one, which is this one, the Hearthside Holiday Deer. And then we also have we have one that is called Pastel Fall Flowers, but to me it's more Christmassy. Let me see if I have that here in person. I do. Let me show you this one. This one's way more country vibe, and it can go fall or Christmas. And you know what? I ought to make an ornament with this week so you guys can see, because it's super cute. These red and greens are really, really pretty. If you like the country vibe, which I do, that one, we have a black and white and silver, which is Christmassy. Doesn't sound Christmassy, but it is. Oh, I almost forgot. I can't believe I almost forgot this one. We have a whimsical Christmas one. You guys, I'm going to send you a link. in the chat to these, and you can scroll through. The category in my shop that we have these fabric bundles in is called Stacy's Stash. And this is, I'm putting a link in the chat right now for those, and you can just kind of scroll through. There's just 3 or 4 pages, like I think 2 or 3 pages of these. And there's a couple of Christmas ones in there now. Old South fabrics in either Kentucky or Tennessee are good places to buy fabrics. I have bought from all of them. Okay, awesome. So those must be online. Yes, she said yes, they're all online. Be So Creative. I've bought from Be So Creative too, Kathy. Yeah, that is a great one. The Quilter said, keep an eye on fabric bargains. If very stiff, it is heavily starched because there are not as many threads per inch. I did not know that. Okay. Thank you for that tip. Okay, you guys, I was so busy yapping that I finished it and didn't really realize it. So here is the ornament. Came out really cute. I'm happy with this. So I'm gonna be on tomorrow and I will be on Wednesday. I will not be on Thursday. Of course, it's Thanksgiving. I'm sure you guys will be very busy that day too. And then Friday, I'm going to my sister's for another Thanksgiving. So I won't be on Thursday or Friday. So tomorrow and Wednesday, and then I'll be back on Monday. So if you guys have any questions, just make sure to pop them in the comments. I will check on those. Creative Mindset, has anyone made this ornament using the new Tilda Christmas? It might be very pretty. I don't know that one. I need to look it up. Am I reading that right? Tilda Christmas? M. Quilter said, stick to the name brand. Searching for price is best practice. Teresa said, I love it and look forward to joining in again. Thank you, Teresa. I'm glad you made it in today so early on. I'm glad you were here. Kathy said, happy Thanksgiving. You too. For those of you who won't be here Tuesday or Wednesday, I hope you have a wonderful week and holiday and Thanksgiving. But hopefully I'll see you tomorrow or Wednesday as well. All right, you guys. Again, for those of you who are interested in the tutorial for this, the link is right in the description. It's right here on YouTube, and it's a step-by-step 3-part tutorial that'll take you through exactly how to do this, printable supply list, everything that you'll need. Otherwise, please leave your questions, and I'm always happy to help and answer those. Creative Mind said, yes, but the Tilda Christmas fabric is very hard to find in the U.S. Sold out. Okay, I'll have to look just to at least see what it looks like. Marilyn said, thanks. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. M. Quilter said, thanks so very much for a wonderful time with you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Nancy said, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Debbie said, thank you. You're so welcome. All right, guys, have an awesome rest of your night. Happy ornamenting.